going on, YouTube pipe smokers? This is the Wayfaring Piper back at you with a different sort of view today. I decided to take a little walk in a local trail down the road from my house, and yeah, I figured at the end of this long day I would come down by the lake and smoke a pipe and talk some more about my aims on this channel. Delving into different sort of topics, not only just pipe smoking, but on thoughts and ideas that I have learned and I would hope to impart to some of you. I know I'm young, so I might not know a lot, and it's humble to know that I don't know a lot and there's still more to learn, but I think we're in a day and age where many young people are seeking to know themselves through the world in ways that take them away from their purpose or drive. There's another word I'm looking for. Having intentions, having the right intentions about life. As someone who has had to learn that and is still learning that, I think many of the generation that I'm in is too worried because they are so much in the world that they have not found the time or stillness to impart themselves with their inner voice. So that was just a small little excerpt, I guess. I want to get back to this pipe that I smoked yesterday and give you a better view of it, because I don't think I gave as great of a view as I could have. This is the bird's eye on this pipe, and I know I said Algerian briar perhaps. I'm probably wrong on that, but another marking on it says Italy on the stem there. But it just has a great transition of like this flame sort of burst into that bird's eye. And for a $15 pipe, I could not argue with that. But this is not the pipe I'm smoking today. I'm gonna be smoking another pipe I have collected. I'm just gonna set that in the grass. I know some people would probably be like, oh, that's shameful or something like that. But this is a Hilson Bolero. I have not dated this pipe, but it's a Belgian-made pipe. Man, this lighting, there's trees, and I'm trying to get good views of the briar on this. But it's half sandblasted with this little, oh, there you go. A little bit better, this like badge sort of. That's like a normal side, and this side has all the bird's eye on it. Does this have a code? It's a 225 Hilson Bolero. And in it I'm smoking Blend 255 by Yuli's Pipe Tobacco in Milwaukee, Wisconsin. When I was there, I got a tour of the shop, and I talked to the owner, who's been there for 30, 40 years, something like that. And he went through the little blending process with me, and I was just a stranger. I was just some strange guy walking into a shop I've never even been in, and they treated me like home and family. And that's how I feel like the pipe community itself is like. You know, everyone's very friendly and loves to impart information about pipe smoking, and I think that's wonderful. I think more people should do that about a lot of different things. I love how open and kind everyone is in this community, and thank you for all the shout outs from Cactus Piper, and there's a few others. Slinger was one of the channels, and there's probably a few others. But anyway, thank you for the warm welcome. You guys are awesome. Anyway, I'm gonna get into toking on this Blend 255, which is a Burley Cube Cut Blend. This is the only pipe tobacco I've smoked with this cube sort of cut on it, but it's very nutty smelling, so that's what makes me think it's a Burley. I think it is just strictly Burley. This is actually the oldest blend that Yuli's made, and I believe they made it in 1955, and they've been blending it since then, or maybe even earlier than that. I could be wrong. And I got my little Zippo here. I have the other pipe lighter with the whole hole in it. This is the butane lighter because I believe it burns a lot cleaner, and you don't get as much of that flame smell or tang on your tobacco. I have matches as well and the clipper lighter from yesterday. I figure I'm gonna have to light this a couple times, but let's get into it. And the wind isn't bad right now, so. Okay, I'm not gonna use this. Oh my, this is terrible. Not the best light. I'm definitely gonna have to relight this. Anyway, how's everyone's day going? It's a nice meager Friday today. I thought I would have to work overtime at my factory job, and they called it off. I bought some new boots on my day off, and I'm gonna get into wearing them next week because I've had aching sore feet for weeks, and insoles have not done much to preserve the health of my feet, unfortunately. So this is my other pipe that I collected early on in my journey that I found. I had to get it slightly restored because this stem was all stuck up in the pipe. It's caked on there. Probably hadn't been smoked in 20 years, and someone probably had this as a daily driver because it is just such a nice pipe in the mouth. So light. I don't have a lighter pipe than this, and it's a nice freehand. Yeah, the only other ones I've seen of this were straight shaped pipes, and this is slightly bent, and it makes it a wonderful pipe to have just sitting in your mouth without having to worry about it falling out or anything like that. So I think I want to aim this channel not so much on always pipe smoking. I think it will be involved in the videos, but I want to cover thoughts on God, the nature of reality, and honestly looking at the world from an objective, possibly biased opinion, but I would say I look at things very matter of fact, and some people don't like the case of that because they always feel like they're getting judged. But I'm early on in my faith for God. I started about 3 years ago, and I wish I had started very much sooner. I wish I had started in my early teens, because that was when I felt most lost, and I was lost for many years. And now I have a great pastor that has mentored me into becoming more centered in my life. And I'm truly blessed for that. I'm truly blessed for that. If you have someone in your life, you know, even if it's a small group of friends of 2 or 3 people, if you have those type of friends, it's something special and to never take for granted. I also want to do hiking videos. I don't want to do immobile videos like this. I just happened to know that there were chairs sitting here out by this lake, and that I was gonna go out there and sit in these chairs while I record this video before the sun goes down. And I'm surprised I have not had to relight this. Well, I did once, but the pipe is staying lit very good. Shout out to Yuli's for supplying me with this original burley cut, cube cut tobacco. I bought two blends from there. I wanted to walk out with 3 or 4. I had 3 or 4 in my hand. I'm like, I'm just gonna be smart about this and pick what my heart desires, I guess. I shouldn't even say heart desires, because I don't think the heart desires tobacco, but whatever pleases my senses. And I bought another freehand pipe from there. Not much different from this one, but I will have to show that in another upcoming video. It's a freehand anyway. Yeah, so I want to use this channel for a lot of ideas that I throw out there on the table that people can either take and talk with me about, or give me new perspective, or you know, just nature videos of me walking around and being a wayfaring stranger. I might talk about music on this channel too. I'm a lover of music, have been all my life. I love all genres of music. And I want to collect more vinyls. I thought about doing a vinyl collection video. Although I don't play them all the time, it's it's this and the simplicity of analog style ways of life that are a little bit more practical and in reality, rather than easy to, compared to a phone, you know, where you get stuck in the dopamine loop of looking at your phone and scrolling on social media and being fed the algorithm of things that may or may not be helpful to you. I think that's one of the flaws of social media. Yeah, the phone is a tool. That's all I'll put it as. The phone is a tool, just like your textbook, just like, but the phone has become too comfortable, and I think that has delayed most Americans and most of the world in a way, because we've lost our intention to distraction. And don't get me wrong, there's a lot of great information out there, but how much of us are sitting down and writing down ideas and practicing them off of social media? How much of us are actually being practical with what we are absorbing through the internet? And I think that goes a lot for granted. It's such a great source that it's not a great source. You know what I mean? You don't have to work for the information that's being put out there, and so much of it is easy to believe that it infects us with a mind that isn't our own, but the world's. You know, we fall trapped to ideas about ourselves that are not always the case. It's whoever you gravitate to, you know. There's people you can you can get along with and be like, okay, I can see eye to eye with this person. Or there's some people who you try to learn from, and they're just not they're not in alignment with what you're reaching for. So I'm not hating social media, you know, I'm here posting on social media, but I just want to put it out there, the awareness of it being a tool or a distraction, and ultimately using time away from the screen to take aim for your life. My generation is meant is a very should be a nonconformist generation, and somehow the world before us has made us to conform to taking over our minds and not aiming enough at working on ourselves in the right ways. We obtain the knowledge and it flees from us if we don't practice it. And I think it is where parenting has to become more structured if we are to aim higher in this life and really challenge ourselves. I think much of us were set on a screen at too early of an age and told that it's okay to be comfortable and not reach out to the world and experience it. I'm not saying I was a super sheltered kid, but I was too naive to change my ways, basically. Anyway, I've talked for a long time, and I've only started this bowl. Anyway, these pauses that I take in between puffing the pipe is a reminder of the silence, of God's language, of really buckling down and observing, observing the leaves on the trees, observing the grass on the ground, taking in every little thing about your surroundings and having gratitude towards it. There's a certain sort of detachment that nature brings to us that uniform society has taken us out of. And it is nature that will ultimately save much of the younger generation from stabilizing our nervous systems, from gaining insight about our bodies, and ultimately healing. I think nature is very healing to some spirits, and it's something that's just put past us generally. And like people born in the 70s, 60s, 70s, 80s, the rules and regulations of doing anything, especially out in Northwoods where I live, were so, it was like, who cares? Let's just do anything because we want to experience life, We're gonna challenge ourselves. If we get hurt, if we get into trouble, who cares? We're learning in the way. And I think the phone and much of the distraction keeps us too comfortable in our shoes, I'm not saying we have to get shocked and traumatized by the world, but the nature that we can experience will bring us into experiencing life, not taking it for granted. So, yeah, I've talked long enough. I hope everyone's enjoyed my message today. I'm sure I'll touch on the same thing, and God's peace be to all of you. I hope. Oh, I hear an owl, my favorite animal. Maybe I'll try to find it. Anyway, God's peace be to all of you. Have a great weekend. This is the Wayfaring Piper signing off. There's an owl across the lake. I wish I could see it. I love owls so much, and I wish I could tell what it is. It might be a great horned owl, possibly. I'm not sure.